What's going on, everybody? It is Ace. It is episode 7 of the Live Skip podcast while my video decides to buff. Yeah, so tonight NHL starts back for the 2022-2023. Right now we got the Lightning and Rangers playing, so running on my phone right underneath the monitor. Flash will be joining me in a couple of minutes or seconds. I have no idea when he's coming. He works on his own schedule, it feels sometimes. But yeah, NFL, NBA, NHL, college football, big college football schedule coming up, guys. So we'll get into that. What will be the key games, whatnot you want to say? Be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe. FAMU, looking pretty sharp right now. Talk more about that tomorrow with Allison coming on the show for Run and Gun, 8 o'clock, so don't miss that. But, we got a couple teams in the NFL continuing their hot streaks right now. The NFC Beast. The memes of the NFC East Beast are now gone. It's funny, me and Jay Peeps did the preview for that, and we called it the NFC. Is completely wrong. The Giants at 4-1, Eagles 5-0, Cowboys 4-1. So we got some big games coming this week also for NFL for division title leads. There's Flash with his Lightning shirt on. I'm wearing my t-shirt. I can't. It's too hot in the house to wear a long sleeve.
Maybe
How we doing, it, Flash?
I'm alive, kicking. Anywho, what's up?
Let's hit this in. He's late.
I had other things like I held up behind, so stuff happens. Ace is swag. What?
Yeah, that's something Dion said. We'll talk about that later. Let's run this intro on.
Alrighty.
Let us get into the NFL section of kickoff. I'm waiting for the background to switch so we can get it going.
It's going.
So this time we're gonna start something new. We're gonna have it a little more spaced out so we can cut them up, so we can cut each segment, quarters, into separate videos. I'm gonna try to do that if I have time tomorrow. But all right, let's get into this Monday Night Football recap. We have the Chiefs winning 30. Some controversy in that game, including what referees did.
Horribly officiated game. Let's just put it that way, plain and simple. No controversy at all. It's straight up horrible officiating that we keep seeing from time to time again in the NFL. And you know what? We can keep on speaking about it from the Tampa Bay game as well. Plain and simple.
All right. I was talking about the controversy and the coaching decisions, but that also, I wasn't going to include that in controversy. I mean, that's not even the worst roughing the passer call the Chiefs fans have to deal with in the last 5 years. I'm sure they remember the Tom Brady with Chris championship game back in 2018. Or 2019, technically, but the 18th season when the Patriots won against the Rams and won. But yeah, so Mahomes looking sharp again. Travis Kelce, 4 touchdowns. Devontae Adams had a solid game, and then what was left of a solid game, he blew it all to hell in the last 5 minutes of the game, if you want to say. Bobbled the pass, would have put them in field range. Didn't get the 2 feet down because of it. Caused fourth down. and then you run into your own. Well, Hunter Renfrow ran into him more so than him running into Hunter Renfrow, but blows up your fourth down play game, and then you collide with a cameraman from a different angle. It looks like he didn't intentionally shove the cameraman. It looks like he just walked in. He's like, "Oh wait," when you see someone walk right across from you, and you don't expect it. That's more of what happened there. I don't expect him to get suspended due to that camera angle because it looks like it was intentional. But we shall see what comes of it. What was your thoughts on the game for the most part? I mean, Chandler Jones finally showed up for the Raiders. He was a no-show pretty much for the first 4 weeks. But what do you think of the game for both teams with the Raiders at 1-4, Chiefs 4-1 heading into
another Raiders blowing some leads again? Like, I don't know. I keep seeing the same story over. Is it time that we start looking at Derek Carr, or is it time that we start looking at their head coach? That's my question now. I'm not ready to start as a Derek Carr yet. But the head coach, I'm definitely that. It's just obvious at this point. I cannot question Derek Carr's leadership on that Raiders team, and I'm not ready to give up on Derek Carr just because they're blowing some leads that some of it on coaching, to be honest with you. And for a front office that is supposed to be trying to be running like the Patriot way, I don't know, man. I got some questions, some big questions. Let alone the fact that like the Raiders were up 17-7 at one point or something like that.
0.
It was 17-0, and then they allowed Patrick Mahomes to crawl back in. I don't know. It looks very familiar with the same thing with when they played Arizona. It's the same thing that we saw, I think, during week 1 as well. So I mean, this is what I'm thinking. Something.
Arizona wasn't week 1. They put
Arizona was week 2. No, but I said and week 1. I said and week 1.
And okay.
So yeah, that's sense. That something needs to change in Las Vegas, because this something ain't right. Something ain't right in Las Vegas. And as you can see, we have a very frustrated Devontae Adams in Las Vegas as well. So that's
missing Aaron.
Yeah, he's missing Aaron. But I mean, I got a question for my viewers right now. If y'all have seen the second angle of Devontae Adams, do you think that was an intentional shove, or do you think that's more of kind of, please get out of my way, I'm tired as hell, I just lost type of thing? I just want to know. And for the record, by the way, that cameraman is filed a police report about it as well, and hospital. So it's a messy situation. But I'm curious, was Devontae wrong, America? Thank you, peeps.
All right. So
let me ask you that as well, Mr. Ace.
I already said that. I answered that question already. I don't think he was wrong judging from that angle. I think he just didn't see it coming. But how was I gonna say? So the Chiefs going on to play the Bills this week. Raiders gonna be on a bye week. So hopefully they can fix themselves going into the bye. But the Chiefs, you got a big test. You can't start off as slow as you did against the Raiders, against the Bills, because the Bills have a defense that won't let you come back, even if you are Mahomes, I think. And you got Edwards-Helaire ball in the run game, even though he had 15 yards this time. He was effective against Tampa, which is why I say that. And Tampa is a way better run defense than what you get in Vegas. But with that being said, in Buffalo, Josh Allen had a career day 38-3 win over the Steelers. But, that game had its own issues with Bills. Well, no, not Bills fans. Pittsburgh fans being mad, and also Kenny Pickett being mad about the low hit taken on him.
I would be mad too, to be honest. I'm gonna say
I would be mad too.
I would be mad too. That was unnecessary. That was dirty by that Bills defender. It's like they were targeting a young quarterback to get hurt already. So I do have a problem with that. So I don't blame Kenny Pickett at all. I do think the NFL, if they want to start calling calls against guys that are trusting quarterbacks after play, maybe you should start looking at the Pittsburgh game for once instead of playing favorites. Plain and simple.
I was gonna save that referee talk for the hot topic section, so I won't get
This
into
is
that
NFL
right.
talk.
Yeah, no, but the referee whole issue, that's a hot topic, so I'll talk about that later on. But, Josh Allen looked sharp. Gabe Davis pulled the Randy Moss game, 3 catches, 171, and 2 touchdowns. So he's a boomer bust type player for fantasy purposes and for the Bills, but he is the guy when Stephon gets double teamed, he's the guy who's just gonna run on the other side of the field and just take a top off
Gabe Davis, yeah.
when healthy. Yeah,
Thank you.
Packer Daily, thanks for the like. I met you on Twitter. Thank you for that, bud. So
Hey,
with
follow
that,
me as well. I'll follow Backpacker Daily. Underscore Aji the Great, AJAY the Great. If you give me a follow, I'll follow you back.
all right. Yeah. So we're the Bills. I mean, they're trying to get James Cook more involved now. You've got more in the garbage time, but Devin Singletary's still the lead back over there. It's gonna be a select fest between the Bills and the Chiefs. Pittsburgh's got a rough one coming up. They have their own issues in the locker room. There's more talk with Mike Tomlin losing it and like his job being in question. But I find that being utterly ridiculous.
That is stupid. That is ridiculous.
The dude's got 15 winning seasons or whatever, over 10 winning seasons, and I think he's the longest there in Pittsburgh, if I'm not mistaken. I think he's been there longer. I'd have to double check that, but yeah. So like the man hasn't had a losing season since he's been in Pittsburgh, and this year is more of a rebuilding year, and everybody's trying to say like, oh, Carolina should go give the Steelers the John Gruden offer, and send Tomlin over to Carolina, and you're like, that's Tomlin dirty for all he's done for your franchise just to get 2 first
for a
rounds
second. I thought you said that the Carolina Panthers should hire John Gruden. I thought you said that for a second.
Hey, David Tepper's the type of owner that might actually do it. Who knows?
I mean, you know what? I could see it happening too.
Together.
It'd be very favorable in Carolina. I mean, but what he said, I think he'd be very favorable. And
we ain't getting into that. All right, moving on. We got Sunday Night Football. Ravens beating the Bengals 19-17. I don't know how you're gonna say this. Bengals got issues. Let's just say it how it is. Actually, let's do it that way. Bengals got some major issues now.
Let's put it this way as well. Lamar Jackson played. Let's put it that way.
That game was winnable. I don't even know if that's a word, but that game was very
for how bad played. That was a very winnable game.
And Lamar took that game over in the last 2-minute drive. I mean, you can't let Lamar go and do that to you on that last drive. Just run it how he wants to get it. 19-32, 174. So a little bit over 50%, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He did miss a lot of deep throws. Joe Burrow, 24-35, so over 60%, but 217, a touchdown and a pick. Yeah, that pick by Patrick Queen, you'd swear that play was run in LSU. Burrow to Chase, and Patrick Queen just read that play beautifully. Chase got clamped by Marlon Humphrey for 90% of that game. Marlon Humphrey had a rough go the first 3 weeks. Last 2 weeks, he's been looking better. Got to give him credit there. Bengals, Eli Apple goes bad. First time in 3 years, going down to the Bayou to play New Orleans. We shall see how that goes. I don't know if Jameis plays that game, but it's like 90% likely Michael Thomas plays. But Ravens,
I think they got to shut down Jameis for a little bit longer, especially if you got some cracks in his back.
Ravens got the Giants this week. That's going to be a good game, I think. We'll see what the Giants are made of. I think they'll do good against the Ravens, but their linebackers are sketchy over there. And but the front four has been good for New York, so I can't say that, for definitive, but we shall see how that game goes. But speaking of Bengals, Saints, Saints finally getting back in the win column, 39-32 in a shootout of Taysom Hill versus the Seahawks, essentially.
Taysom Hill happened? Seahawks
3 rushing, 1 passing. Yeah.
I
On the
mean,
last on the play,
it's not crazy though, because knowing how good the Saints, knowing the fact that Geno Smith essentially kind of carved them up, makes me beg the question: are the Seahawks a way from actually being considered, playoff worthy or legitimate?
I did not hear a word you said because you're breaking up.
Yeah, we just cut off. All right, my question is, but seeing what the Seahawks offense did with Geno Smith against the New Orleans Saints, who are considered, team in the NFL, is this that the Seahawks are a away from being? Oh my god, can you hear me, Ace?
Yeah, I can hear you, but the internet. I don't know what's up with the internet right now. I think it dropped.
They're streaming outside. I'm willing to bet that. Anyways, question is: are the Seahawks a solid defense away from being with this offense? How they manage to carve up defense that me and you both know that is considered one of the better in the league.
Well, to the fact, how do I say this? So I'm not worried with Kenneth Walker at the run position. I think he will. Why is he? I'm not worried about Kenneth Walker. He looked solid in his AKs for the most part. I think you'll see more of a passing role also with Rashad Penny, but Gino was playing out of his mind, but
Season, by the
plays the
way,
one to what you just said. The
he's
1-2 D.
This is deep. Give me
All
a
right,
sec.
just leaving if it does then. Yeah. So what that is like the two big plays to lock it were Debo. He was anticipating help over the top, and you saw Saints they were missing and PJ Williams, and you could see Justin Evans. He was better slot role because he was not practicing a lot with the free safety position with Tyrann Mathieu. So there was a lack of communication up there. And you also had a special teamer and JT Gray playing safety. And you could see that it was affecting because the play where Marshawn Lattimore got hurt on his abdomen play where I think that was the Tyler Lockett touchdown, the second one of Lockett's. He tried playing safety and he stretched down. I think he pulled something up in his abdomen trying to play safety to cover for them because them safeties played absolutely terrible this week. So I don't know how it's going to work, especially with Jamal coming in. I don't know if T. Higgins plays that game. And especially if Lattimore doesn't go for Saints, it is going to get ugly, I think, for them in the defensive side.
Did you answer my question?
I don't know if Andy can handle a shootout game.
Did you answer? Are the Seahawks or defensive way? I'm sorry, I didn't get to hear it because it keeps cutting.
I guess they are, but I mean, Gino's the best quarterback right now in the NFC West.
And yeah, and the NFL in terms of completion too.
I mean, he's not the best.
No. In terms of completion stuff, he has the highest QBR.
Oh, I mean, it's. I don't know if you could say they're a defense away from being playoff contender. I mean, Tariq Woolen's good. The run defense is terrible.
Definitely.
I mean, it's not like their linebackers are bad. It's just the interior of that defensive line is just terrible right now. They can't stop a fly.
They should be Wagner's money.
They got Arizona next week, but Arizona's not gonna have James Conner. They're gonna have Eno Benjamin probably start, and it'll probably be Kyler Murray being the leading rusher in that game. If we're being honest.
Well, I mean, Seahawks versus Cardinals this upcoming week, right? No bye week or anything. There's no bye week, right? For Seahawks is
I just said Seahawks Cardinals.
Okay.
Seahawks Cardinals.
Hey, everything's kind of breaking. I gotta make sure. By the way, check your message. But yeah. What I'm just, yeah, you know what? I can see the Seahawks winning that game. It's a winnable game for them. Just mess up your division rival's schedule. That's what you gotta be for at this point while you're still tanking on. Obviously, Seahawks have no reason to be tanking for number one spot, right? Because they don't have a first round pick. Is that correct, Mr.
Who?
Ace? The
Who?
Seahawks.
Seahawks have their first.
Oh, they do.
They have
They
their
don't.
first and Denver's first, which both of those, which Denver's first can easily be top 10 if you want to get into that right now.
Yeah, we should probably talk about Denver, and let's talk about their mishaps as well, along with Russell Wilson, because lately when they said let Russ cook, it looks like some unseasoned raw and some uncooked macaroni and cheese. That's what I've been seeing in the situation with Denver. Could you agree with that? Let Russ cook, unseasoned raw, uncooked cheese.
Crappy. Yeah, the internet is freezing up horribly right now. I don't know
Did you
why.
check your message, bro?
Yes, I checked the message. But yeah, this Russ thing is not working. He's not playing good. He's playing worse than, let's be honest. I mean,
He was
you
playing
saw
worse than when he
Jameis.
came back from Seattle last season, and
Oh,
even then we thought he was bad.
I was just gonna say he's looking worse right now than what Jameis was looking with a broken back. That is my standard to tell you how bad a quarterback has been playing. How bad with Jameis with a broken back compared to, what Matthew Stafford has been playing like and what Russell Wilson is playing like. Yeah, I would safely say, this is kind of it's just not pretty right now up in Denver or LA for that fact. But I do believe Nathaniel Hackett's gone by the end of this year. If not by December, I think he's gone.
What you talking about? Russell Wilson? You're talking about the head coach?
Hackett will be gone by the end of this year. I don't know if
he's not an NFL coach, but I think Denver needs.
He's not a head coach. He's a coordinator. He's not one. You could tell because he's not ready to handle the game management, the time clock, challenges, and substitutions. That's all. He's trying to outsource head coaching duties and trying to focus on. He can't do it.
If I'm the Denver Broncos,
yeah,
I'm already starting to look at other options for next season at this point with the way how this season is. As well as happy
they don't have any options. They can't have any options.
Not for next season.
They don't have a first round pick and they $240 million extension. So that extension it doesn't even start until after next.
I'm not talking about quarterback. I'm talking about coach.
Oh well, you don't have any picks to trade for Sean Payton, so how that's gonna work. But I don't know who you're gonna hire unless you're gonna go give DeMarco Jones a contract right now.
Hey,
DeMarco Ryan, not DeMarco Jones.
Hey, there's a black coach out there. If Denver wants a person of color to be their head coach,
Flores.
What's his name? Flores. Yeah, I mean,
they need. I don't know if Flores is a fit on Denver.
Denver's not going to hire Flores. I hate to say it. They're too white of an organization. Should I dare to say it? They're too white.
Okay, moving on. Eagles going 5-0 against the Cardinals. Matt Amendola pushes right his the game time kick. Eagles escape. Kyler Murray gave him everything he got. I mean, he's also now like 4-39 on double XP for Call of Duty. So I don't know if that's
Duty. Well, I don't know if we're gonna let that one affect his record, even though unfortunately it's the Cardinals. I don't know if we're gonna use double XP as something to knock Kyler Murray on for something that, especially when he plays good.
I'm just messing. I'm messing.
I know it's funny. It's funny meme and stuff, but at the same time, people are gonna take that stuff seriously in the end. So that's my 2 cents about it. Eagles look like they've been playing well.
They get the Cowboys this week. We shall see what Cooper Rush is made of. The people saying Cooper Rush should be the starter when that comes back healthy. Yeah, that just got blown out. Man threw 10 passes, or he completed 10 passes in an NFL game. Skylar Thompson, I think, completed more. I'm going to check that. But yeah, I do believe Skylar Thompson, because Teddy Bridgewater got hurt first play. He completed 19 of 33. Albeit Cooper Rush with Aaron Donald, but still.
That Dolphin season is taking a huge dive right now, sir. They were looking
If
really
only
good,
has
and
that two after one game.
it's taking a dive deeper than the Red October dive we're talking about. That thing's going real deep, real down. Anyways, so this week we're gonna find out, is Cooper Rush legit or are the Eagles legit? That's
Hey, the
my question
Cowboys
for
defense is looking
America.
good though. I almost lost in fantasy because of the Cowboys defense. Cowboys defense was the highest scoring slot for the guy who I was playing against. And I had 124, and I almost lost this dude because of the Cowboys defense. Thanks, Clyde, for 6 points to bail me out at the end. But yeah, that wasn't a thing. But we shall see what those teams got. Arizona, like we said, got Seattle. The Rams got Carolina. So the Rams got to get themselves right against Carolina.
Time out. So actually, something that went under the radar that we need to talk about. That NFL photographer that got
firing.
No, that Devontae Adams push. Apparently, he never filed a report or press charge against Devontae Adams.
Yeah, there's not much there to have a case anyway, so that's just wasting time for everybody and the taxpayer.
Yeah, so I mean, well, no, not only that, I mean, it just comes to show that people are just making a headline out of anything because they're just desperate. Order that needs to be looked at carefully because clearly, if it came straight from his Twitter account.
Yep. Carry on. Where was I? Panthers fired Matt Rule. They say they're going to be in the market for Champagne. If I'm the Saints, I want 3 first-round picks in Brian Burns or Jeremy Chin. Because you can't trade Champagne in the division unless you want the whole King's ransom. What else was there? Packers, 0 points second half. They have been terrible in the second half. You watch them against Tampa. You watch them against New England. You watch them against the Giants. They have, I want to believe, under 7 points the entire second half. Or under 10 points, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I have to check that. But I do believe Green Bay has been absolutely atrocious. They had 0 points this week. I want to say 3 points against the Bailey's Jap, who is now 1-0 as a starter. They had a grand total of 10 points against the Patriots in second half. Well, they had technically 17 if you include the overtime, but it's kind of sketchy there. And I do believe they had, how many points did they had against Tampa in the second half? I have to go back and check this. See it? Here we go. Please, they had 0 points in the second half against Tampa. It is bad up in Green Bay right now. Aaron Rodgers will be calling plays, but that's a conversation. If their
Green Bay looks like they're in a mess as
against
well.
The Jets, if they struggle against the Jets again, we need to start being worried about.
Well, I mean, let's slow down now. The Jets have been playing pretty good this year. They're not the garbage dump team that we think they are.
No, but you shouldn't struggle if you're the Packers with that aspirations of a team.
Oh no, I mean, not when you're giving Aaron Rodgers that kind of money, but there's a lot of things that's going on in Green Bay that I can't even answer. Refresh my memory. Hey, so who Green Bay just played?
They just played the Giants and lost. They had 0 points. They were up 20-10, I believe.
Yeah, the Giants. I remember. I saw the ending of that game at work. That was Giants defense was playing really good though. You must credit them that. And Daniel Jones has been exceeding expectations for what we thought Daniel Jones is. Daniel Jones has been given a brand new coach, and they've been playing. I don't know. Daniel Jones looks like Danny Dimes. That's plain and simple. Saquon Barkley's been playing well as well, but I mean, I just never knew Daniel Jones to be the type of quarterback to be running if he has to. That is just not what I expect out of Daniel Jones. So,
all right.
Giants are pretty good. So, hey,
I'm gonna do a quick rundown here.
I want to say one more thing, by the way. The NFC least is not the NFC least no more. It's the NFC beast.
You're only quoting me now for my NFC beast phrase.
But you want to which division's been the letdown so far? The
The South.
glorified AFC West.
Oh yeah,
That
the AC
AFC
was
West,
pathetic.
the AFC West has been playing straight doo-doo if you look at the Raiders and the Broncos for what they are.
All right,
NFC South has
cool.
also
Now
been
I'm
a
gonna do a
letdown as
quick.
well.
I'm gonna do a rapid fire right now. Browns traded for Deion Jones, 7th. Deion Jones in a 7th for a 6. They need a linebacker. Help Austin Eckler destroyed them. Lost 30-28 to Chargers. We shall see how that goes for the Browns. Chargers got, I believe, Broncos on Monday Night Football. I wouldn't tune in for that. I expect the Chargers to win that game. You have the Commanders. Ron Rivera called out Carson Wentz, even though Brian Robinson returned to the yeah, Ron Rivera needs to go. I expect him to be the second head coach to get fired, or him or Josh Nathaniel have 3 months on without a job by the end of the year. But I do believe Ron Rivera needs to get fired. You have Bears looked like a competent team again. 1 o'clock, Kirk Cousins still somehow is a Pro Bowl player, while primetime Kirk Cousins looks like he should be in the XFL. But different conversation for another day. Lions, lost to the Patriots 29-0, but Amon-Ra has a high ankle sprain. I don't know why he was even in the game. Texans beat the Jags. Trevor Lawrence looks struggling again. Dameon Pierce trying to make his name for Rookie of the Year. Talk about Falcons, Bucks a little bit in hot topics with that call. Titans get back on track against Commanders. I already said that.
We're going to talk about the NFL
college
officiating
football
as a whole.
Yeah, it's a hot topics. Let's move on to college football. All right, Flash, you start this. I need to do something for a second.
All right, let me 1 second.
Oh.
So the You Shall Fail Bulls. Let's start off with that. They have actually they fought Cincinnati to the very end, 28-24, ladies and germs. I guess it's something to be excited about. I mean, I don't know. I mean, USF has been playing very close games lately. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to speak anything. If USF wants to convince me that they want to win games, win this weekend for the homecoming, for crying out loud. Because Mr. Naysayer Ace over there is telling me that USF is going to be losing to Tulane. So I just want to throw that out there right there. Matter of fact, Mr. Ace over there also believes that USF is also going to be destroyed by Tulane. Not beat, destroyed. We're talking like a 40-10 blowout. Destroyed. So I'm just quite curious on what would happen. Now let's keep it moving. South Carolina. Oh my lord, South Carolina upset of Kentucky.
Yes, what a shame. They did.
Bob Stoops, what you doing, man? What are you doing? You got carried away with an overrated win team against Florida, and you got so happy, and now you lost to freaking South Carolina and Ole Miss. Shameful. Shameful, right, man. I don't know what's going on, but shameful.
Let me explain why I believe Tulane steamrolls USF.
Well, 1 second. I do want. Well, a matter of fact, we're talking about upsets and overrated teams that got beaten by overrated teams. Let's go on to the Washington Huskies, who, as a matter of fact, decided to lose to freaking Arizona State without a real head coach and without a real quarterback, from what I heard. How the heck did you do that? DeBoer, what are you doing? Penix, what you doing, man? Penix, are you getting soft? Penix, are you soft? You went from hard to soft, Penix?
This man gotta stop. Someone stop this man. All right, this is actually surprising because how do you be that winningest head coach in Kentucky while you lose to South Carolina? I don't know.
Well, let's slow down. Kentucky came from the ground up, build up. So
I know.
So I mean,
I know.
It just shows to show that how bad Kentucky has been as a football program. So
okay, so let me explain why I believe Tulane steamrolls USF. All right, we know USF played Cincinnati tough. We know they played Florida tough. Outside of that, they got their butts kicked to North Carolina. Like, not North Carolina. What the hell? BYU. They got their butts kicked by East Carolina. And, Tulane 5-1. The only game Tulane lost was to Southern Missouri, which they didn't show up for and didn't expect to be good. But they steamrolled UMass. They steamrolled Alcorn. They beat Kansas State, who also beat Oklahoma, albeit that's not saying much at this point because, Oklahoma has no quarterback. But, this also the same Kansas State team beat Texas Tech, Iowa State, Missouri, and South Dakota. Well, South Dakota, nobody cares. But yeah, I do believe Tulane got a squad over there. I don't know if USF holds up to beat them, so I'm not gonna waste my time going. I'm sorry. I finally
Come
have a free
on.
weekend. I'm not going to see USF lose to Tulane. To be honest, I think I'd
Yeah,
rather see Tulane win.
well, why not just you know what, man? I mean, you just go for football. Tulane's favored by 12 points with an 82% chance to win, according to ESPN Power Index. Well, you know what? According to Mr. Ace, it looks like it's going to be worse than 12 points. And you know what? It won't surprise me. USF plays good one week. Next week, they just get destroyed. I don't know. So, I mean, you know what? It may be a process for USF. I don't know. I mean, USF had a whole lot of transfers, but I'll say it is this way, you know. I still don't believe in Gary Bohannon, straight up. I just still don't. I don't know how we got the starting job over I nearly said Teddy. I don't know why my mind's screaming Teddy Bridgewater. It's oh my god. What's his name? Ace. I'm so sorry.
Timmy?
Timmy McLean. I just don't understand that decision making still, to be honest. But hey, you know, who knows? Who knows? So I'm just gonna keep wondering about it. Hey, you know what? Let's talk about DJ Wongolele. No one's been really talking about him since Clemson has been.
I am high right now. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I'm kind of high on Clemson right now. You know, they've beaten
17-1 touchdown interception rate. I mean, that's nothing to complain about.
He's 14-2, but I mean, I'm talking about the ratio itself. He was 9-10 last year. He was not good last year. You know, he heard the criticism, and one thing you want to see with guys is they start out strong freshman year, they see that down year, but they come back and they play even better that junior year. That's what you want to see from players. And you know, he was supposed to be not better than Trevor Lawrence, but you know, to not
equivalent.
be equivalent and not drop off. You don't want to be a drop off from Trevor Lawrence. And you know, Clemson right now, they've beaten the top ACC schools. They got Florida State this weekend. So primetime game Saturday night on ABC. You know, I fully expect them to win, and you're seeing
who Clemson plays again.
What?
Who Clemson plays?
They play Florida State.
Oh, that's a Clemson W. I'm
sorry,
Noel Nation. I've been riding high with y'all most of the season, but this is probably going to be a Clemson W unless I see something's been on the Florida State side for this upset to happen.
They won 31-30 over Boston College this weekend. They beat NC State already. They beat Wake Forest in an overtime game. So, you know, they're getting battle tested right now, albeit it's the ACC competition. So we shall see how.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Ace. Didn't FSU lose a game? They lost to someone.
They lost to NC State just now. And Wake Forest already.
And Wake Forest. So, I mean, those are teams Clemson have beat. I mean, is it going to be a good game? Yes, but FSU does have trouble trying to beat some teams, especially in overtime. So it's a thing. Let's go on to the Big 12 talk. Red River rivalry.
We said Bama over A&M, man. I wanted to make
no. Let's go.
Wow, all that trash talking I did. Oh, that's Zibanejad playing penalty kill. Just Leslie said 1-0 Rangers right now. Yeah, that power running looked terrible. Yeah, so Big 12, Texas, Quinn Ewers. I feel bad for Archie Manning. I do expect Archie Manning to probably change his decision before the year is over.
What do you mean? Texas is winning.
I know. And guess who's the quarterback? He ain't seen the field with Quinn Ewers there.
Hey, I don't know how old this guy is, but he might be starting by sophomore year. Hey, there's other schools that need quarterbacks desperately, though. You don't have to go to Texas, but hey, you know, you gotta give Texas.
I don't know, but if you're a school, I don't know, like say, just throwing a name, Georgia, maybe, I don't know, some other big name.
Georgia
schools.
could look at
Florida. I don't know. USC's already got Caleb Williams, but UCLA once Dorian Thompson-Robinson leaves this year for the draft, throw some money, NIL deals at Archie Manning, It is a possibility now. If you are a FBS school with big boosters, you could pull Archie Manning. I know he's committed to Texas and all that. So I don't know if he's signed.
Do we have any rich people in Tampa or any rich USF alumni? Maybe they could throw some money at him.
I thought you already USF alumni President Flash.
It's a joke. But
I
hey,
know, but I'm just saying.
hey,
You're ruining the statement. Shut up.
No. USF boosters, throw all your money at Archie Manning to come to USF. Maybe you'll see the change Jeff Scott wants to see. Maybe he won't get fired. Who knows?
All right, shut him up. You're ruining my statement. I said if you are an FBS school with big pockets, you throw an NIL deal at Archie Manning because it is very it is very possible to pull him right now with Wake Quinn Ewers. He is himself as a starter. I don't know if that means also when Archie Manning comes, but there is a legitimate conversation that needs to be had if you're Archie Manning and the Manning family about that.
Because as I said, most of the time players decommit. Players do decommit a lot. They say,
which is why I'm saying you need to. The NIL is why Archie Manning, even Ole Miss, should be throwing the bag at him. I don't know why they did in the first place, but it's just a thing. I'm saying. I mean, Quinn Ewers 4 touchdowns in the first game back. Beats out Oklahoma 49-0. I mean, you have Bijan Robinson also there, but I mean, still. Ohio State 49-10 over with no JNS or Mayan Williams over Michigan State. They got.
It just comes to show that how much of a fluke that Washington win against Michigan State was, and how overrated Michigan State was.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the Week 7 showdowns. We got number 10 Penn State over Michigan. Number 5. Number 3 Bama.
Versus, you mean?
Versus.
You didn't even talk about Bama game in A&M. You want to talk about it?
Me off for that. You want to talk about that? All right, let's talk about Bama, Texas A&M.
What kind of play calling was that? That was hideous.
Who runs a comeback route that shallow and puts the ball in that position? If you are Texas A&M, that play call was terrible.
No. The fact where the quarterback even placed the ball, he placed it outside the end zone. The ball placement
was terrible for that throw. And there was a picture of Jimbo Fisher's son yelling at the refs about that play, like saying it was a flag or whatnot. And I'm like, you sure he wasn't? He should have been yelling at his dad about that play.
You should be yelling at your daddy, son.
Yeah, that play call was absolutely atrocious. So it makes sense. But Bama, they had the backup quarterback in this week. I do expect Bryce Young to be back against Tennessee with Hendon Hooker, who might actually become Heisman Hooker and become a first-round pick this year.
Do you think Alabama could be on upset alert against Tennessee? Do you think it's possible?
It's possible. It is possible. The way Texas A&M played Bama tight. Bama's gettable. Bama's a very gettable team right now. They're not that big, scary giant under the bedroom right now. That can't be touched. They can be touched, they can be defeated. You just got to play not even.
Matter of fact, let's ask America what America thinks. Is Alabama on? Hey, peeps.
On Twitter, run a poll on Twitter and let's see what happens.
Is Alabama? Should Alabama be on upset alert against Tennessee?
And Volney. All right. With that being said, you got number 8 Oklahoma State, number 13 TCU. I mean, that's to decide really Big 12 standings for essentially the Big 12 championship, I guess. Number 7 USC. Still, the defense still looking sus. Offense isn't blowing anybody away.
Utah's even worse. Let's put it that way.
Number 20 Utah. Those are just the top 25 games against each other.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do you think the Washington Huskies will get things back on track? Because
Washington Huskies need to go back and do some soul searching.
I mean, it just seems to me they've been playing down to their opponent's levels a bit too much, and that is a bit of a concern. Because listen, they played too close. They woke up late against UCLA, and they woke up late against Arizona State. Something needs to happen. Something needs to change in Washington Huskies. Something needs to change. Plain and simple. because we went from seeing Michael Penix from being straight up a Heisman candidate to being okay. What the hell is going on, Michael Penix? Now I don't know who Washington is playing this week. Let me check right now.
Oh, LSU Florida is also this weekend. I expect LSU to win the game.
LSU versus Florida. I don't know.
I'm not picking LSU. I won't pick LSU because of the uniforms ever again. But
I'm gonna
Florida,
say this: LSU, Letdown State University. Who did they lose to, Mr. Ace? Who did they lose to? Tennessee. Tennessee. That's what I'm seeing out of Tennessee. They look like a 10 out of 10 in terms of how they've been playing lately. Matter of fact, I would put LSU on upset alert.
Man, getting a little too corny for me right now.
Let me check.
All right, NHL NBA talk. Let's get into it.
Well, one second. Who the Huskies play next after that piss poor game? Ooh, what they
this
are.
Man just can't move on. He still hasn't changed.
They're playing Arizona. If Washington Huskies lose to Arizona of all teams, we got a problem. We got a problem over there in Seattle. Plain and simple.
All right. Some NHL NBA talk. We got Lightning Rangers tonight. Rangers up 1-0 halfway through the second. Mika Zibanejad scored the goal. Pretty good goal, I gotta say. Lightning power play looked terrible. We got Rangers look like I just said, Zibanejad. Golden Knights versus at LA Kings. That's gonna be later tonight on ESPN as well. So how do we start with Vlad Domestikov, I guess? Preseason he was playing with Point Kucherov. Him and Kucherov got some kind of home cooking going, I guess. I don't know. But when them two play together, they just make some magic from the preseason, it looked like. But Lightning loading up on the top line right now to replace Palat with the Point Kucherov line. So you're seeing Point Kucherov, Stamkos as the top line. You got Kaloran, Hagel, and Paul second line until Sorelli comes back. Kepke is gonna be their rookie guy coming into the third line to fill the Palat spot on the roster and God, I'm forgetting who the third guy is. Vlad Domestikov, sorry. And then you got the bus line with Perry, Maroon, Belmar. So it'll be interesting to see where the Lightning go. Rangers, I expect the Rangers to be competing this year, giving everybody headaches and whatnot. So I'm trying to pull up the standings here so we can see how these thing is going to work. So we know Islanders paid Barzal. They got Sorokin over there. They got Hurricanes. Still got Aho. Brought in Brent Burns. Brought in some big names. Patch Ready, but I think he got himself hurt, so he won't be in for the start of the season. New Jersey Devils is my team. That's that. That is the wildcard team over in the Metropolitan Division. Is on his phone, not doing anything right now.
I am actually watching some stuff. Anyway,
yeah, I'm not.
Let's talk about the that's devastating. That's putting the scares on the Tampa area.
Hey, we are breaking down the preview. We are doing a preview right now. We'll talk about that Predator later on. So the Predator will get talked about later. Okay. So
they're breaking up.
Oh crap! All right. Who do you have winning the Metropolitan? I expect it to go Rangers winning the Metropolitan this year. Hurricanes second. Islanders third.
Matt, you want to know something? I saw somebody Rangers predict the Rangers to be last in the Metro or second to last.
No, that's not happening. I think the Rangers will be good. They got a top two goalie. I expect them to be top two in the Metropolitan, but the Hurricanes will be the team. I expect the Penguins and the Capitals to be the wildcard teams this year. I expect the Devils to make playoffs. I don't know what to expect from the
Devils. What?
I expect the New Jersey Devils to make the playoffs.
Okay.
I have the expectation they should be making the playoffs this year. I don't have the Blue Jackets making the playoffs simply because of the goalie with Elvis Merzlikins. He's kind of a wild card on his play. He's not a definitive guy. You got in the Atlantic Division, Florida Panthers, Tampa Bay Lightning. Those are your two guys we're going to be in the playoffs pretty much.
I don't know about
Maybe
the Panthers. Panthers are in a mess right now.
Panthers got a new coach, but they also I don't know why they traded Huberdeau.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe
100 point per game guy. He's a 100-point guy, so he's trying to give them more. How do you want to say upside long term? So you still have
say this. I think the Florida Panthers left their souls at Fantasyland on Dale Mabry. I think that's what happened. They left their souls there.
This man just going tonight. This man just
they left their souls in Fantasyland. Like, you know how Space Jam they take away the Charles Barkley's playing ability. I think Fantasyland took away Florida Panthers playing ability. So if you play for the Florida Panthers, you might be going in for a bumpy ride.
All right, Tampa just scored it up. Tied it up, not scored it up. What the hell am I doing? What are we doing here, man? I am going crazy.
I'm gonna say this: Toronto's gonna
Tampa scores the first goal of the season for the Tampa Bay Lightning on the power play, assisted by Kucherov and Braden Point. I will give you. I wasn't watching. I was breaking down the, standings or whatnot for the season. But back to the Atlantic. Toronto Maple Leafs also going to be in that Atlantic division.
I'm gonna say this, Ace.
I got Maple Leafs to be to playoffs. I don't think the Bruins. If they make it,
Bruins are not making it. They're not making it. They got a lot of issues they got to fix. Right now.
And Troy McAvoy, their best defenseman, is not coming back until December.
I'm gonna say they're not like
they have guys to replace their rally. My bad. Continue.
I actually have Toronto being number one in the Atlantic. That doesn't mean they're going to get bounced in the first round, but they're going to be number one in the Atlantic, followed by Tampa Bay Lightning. I think Tampa Bay is going to take things a little bit more slowly this season and make sure their guys are healthy rather than burning themselves out. We're trying to be number one in the standing. I don't think Tampa needs to be concerned about trying to make the standings as much. They need to be more concerned about staying healthy for the playoffs. That's my 2 cents about Tampa Bay. So I got Toronto being number one, Tampa being number two. Toronto, I mean, who knows? Are they going to make it out of the first round or not? I mean, if you're a Maple Leafs fans, you better pray to the hockey gods they don't face Tampa Bay round one because Tampa Bay's going to be taking them out.
Nah, they need the Florida Panthers round one.
If they go to Panthers and they lose in the first round, somebody needs to get fired.
No, this is a make or break year for Kyle Dubas, I think. We shall see what goes on with Toronto, but they got the Blue Jays.
What about our hero, Austin Matthews?
Austin Matthews gave the curse from the Toronto Maple Leafs to the Toronto Blue Jays. What will happen with Toronto Maple Leafs this year? Unless the Blue Jays give it back. It can very well happen. Because we know that Toronto made a deal with the devil for that NBA Finals. All right. Central Division. You got Winnipeg Jets, Minnesota Wild, Avalanche, Blackhawks, Stars, Blues, Coyotes, Predators. I think the Avalanche, no-brainer, win that conference. I expect Minnesota Wild to be back in that also. Predators and the Jets can be a toss-up. I think both can be wildcard teams. Dallas Stars. I think Jake Ottinger takes a step. They got a team deep enough to compete. I know they just paid Jason Robinson. Tyler Seguin got to turn back the clock a little bit to do anything with the Dallas Stars, but we shall see what goes on with them. What do you think about any of those Chicago Blackhawks and Arizona Coyotes to be thinking for Connor?
I think Blackhawks is struggling a little bit.
Blackhawks are tanking hard. They are loading up with picks to give them best chances for Bedard.
So they're tanking.
That's a no-brainer. They're tanking. They're tanking for the equivalent of Victor Wembanyama.
Hey, Arizona, we're gonna give you a guy. His name is Ian Cole. Let's give him. We will give you Ian Cole for whatever you want to give us at this point.
Future considerations, which is nothing.
We'll take cash considerations for crying out loud for Ian Cole.
All right, we'll get into Ian Cole. Because I don't know
what we don't want to see our local media caught sleeping with Ian Cole. All right, we don't want none of that happening in Tampa Bay.
JP, just mute this man. This man just won't let me finish. All right. All right, Pacific Division. We got Canucks, Flames, Ducks, Oilers, Golden Knights, Kraken, and Sharks. All right, let's rule out Kraken, Sharks, and I don't know about Ducks. I can't see it. Ducks got a little. They got the potential to make noise to make us, but it's to be determined with that yet. Seattle Kraken is another growth year. All right, you can unmute them now, but yeah. So teams that make the playoffs, I think it's gonna be the Flames, Golden Knights, Oilers, no brainers, Canucks, and the Ducks. That's a tongue twister. Canucks and the Ducks are.
What if the Kraken make it, or they're not there yet?
Very possible. Very possible. They had the projected number 1 pick who fell to number 4 in Shane Wright. And Matty Beniers from last year, number 2 pick from last year. Very possible they make it. Philip Grubauer got to turn back to President Trophy Philip Grubauer and not last year Philip Grubauer to do it, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. All right. You know, Flash has been waiting for this. Take it away. Let's talk about the Predator. Albeit, it is only allegations.
Let's stop calling him a Predator, right? Because you know what? We're not calling him a Predator because every time we say the name Predator, we think of the Nashville Predators. And you know what? It's messing my head. Let's not call him a Predator.
Sorry.
Let's call him a creep.
Creep.
That's what he is.
Talk about the dirtbag. He'll be my dirtbag.
We Arizona, we will trade you for cash considerations at this point. Cash considerations or something, man. I don't know. Pick. We'll give something. We don't want him in Tampa. Just give us something, all right? Just like a solid player, for crying out loud. I guess a solid player in Arizona might be their best player then, I guess. I don't know. Maybe we could send him to San Jose. Maybe San Jose would take him. Send him out west somewhere. You might have more fun in San Francisco and find himself having play time.
How would we send him to
in
Russia?
The bed?
I'll send them to Russia.
I mean, we can send them to Russia, but I mean, what I don't know. Does Putin even want him? Anyways, besides, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why Tampa even decided to sign Ian Cole, looking at the background and all the other stuff that this man has. You know, I mean, obviously allegations, but knowing this man's history, you know, I'm willing to believe it's more likely it probably did happen, you know. Just knowing his history of what has transpired in the past with him, at least based on what Ace has told me about him. So, I mean, Ace, don't you agree that
I said he blew up a news reporter's engagement. Yeah, the man's got a bad track record. You can look at his past and you could tell, which is why I'm giving the anonymous alleger the benefit of the doubt, is because he has the track record of his behaviors to go on, which make me think it is very possible that he did what is being alleged, you know, grooming, sexual assault of a minor, you know.
A minor?
Yeah, that's what I said. Predator, pedophile, you know what we're going to call it. Yeah.
And we signed this man. We signed this man.
But you didn't know that when they signed him.
I don't know nothing much about Ian Cole, to be honest.
And you're getting all worked up about it. Chill. Take a chill pill.
A freaking predator. A freaking child.
Well, not a child, but it's still bad.
It's still a child. It's still a child.
Okay.
I don't care where you're from. Child. Shameless. Why we signed him?
But why are you saying why we signed him? They did not know this was thing when they signed him. The only thing they knew about him was having an affair with a news reporter and blowing up their engagement.
Okay.
That is the only thing they knew about it.
Hey, you know, I mean, if you are married to a news reporter in the Tampa Bay area, watch your wife, ladies and gentlemen, because this Ian Cole looks like he doesn't give a damn, and given the opportunity for your wife, guess what? She's going to take it. Ian is like the second man, plain and simple. And he's wrecking Tampa Bay as we speak, on the ice and in the sheets. Can we talk NBA now?
Yeah, so let's talk about the NBA. We need to have a chat about these the people who said Paolo Banchero wasn't going to be the number 1 pick.
Hey, Orlando is happy with them.
Play with the Grizzlies right now. I know Ja didn't play much. He's actually played 24 minutes. I mean, the Grizzlies are playing the starters. Let's not get this wrong. The Grizzlies are playing the starters. Paolo's got 17, 7, and 2 in 21 minutes.
Everyone's been playing starters in the preseason, at least in the first quarter or second quarter.
Yeah. Also, praise for Marvin Bagley. His knee just went to hell in the first minute of the Pistons game. So praise to you, Marvin Bagley. You got a rough career going on right now. It's not your fault. Injuries.
It's Sacramento.
Yeah. Good over there for you. But yes. Damn.
I do want to point this out. Lakers have been looking a lot better under coach Devin Ham or Darvin Ham?
Darvin Ham.
Darvin Ham. They've been executing a lot better on offense, and their defense look much better this season. I expect a much better season for the Los Angeles Lakers. Based on what I've been seeing in the preseason, I think Ace can agree with that as well. Russell Westbrook has been making his 3-pointers and stuff as well, so it's a big change. I do got a question for you, Mr. Race. Do you?
I was going to talk about the fight.
Oh, we'll talk about that in a moment.
I'm going to make heading up into the NBA.
I'm going to make you wait to talk about the fight as how you made me wait to talk about Ian Cole. All right, so let me ask you this right now: which Laker guard is going to be traded? Because they have too many guards, and I feel like some of them are going to be trade bait for someone else.
I think either Nunn or Schroeder.
I think Nunn is definitely there.
Nunn got the most trade value because of age, and I do believe if you trade Nunn, you can either upgrade your front court or get a good perimeter defender. So
the Lakers, if they could get like I don't know, like say like a PJ Tucker, even though he's a bit older. PJ Tucker's in Miami though, right?
No, he left. I think he went to Philly. Yeah, he went to Philly.
Now I wish the Lakers could trade for PJ Tucker.
That got investigated for tampering. Yeah, he's with Philly. He got investigated for tampering that deal.
I mean, listen, if the Lakers could get like a PJ Tucker, that would be a dream death ball lineup.
Hey, you want to hear a joke?
That'd be a dream death ball lineup. I'm going to say that right now. That will give the Warriors Hampton's spot for Draymond.
The Lakers going for Draymond.
Draymond will be a good enforcer, but Lakers need some offensive guys. They're going too focused on defense.
I don't know. We can't go back and like them fancy shows. They can pull up your old clips and put them back in black and white. But if you're last week, I said the Pelicans are the team to watch in the Western Conference. I do believe they will finish top 3. And they will make serious noise.
Whoa, slow down. Let's not say top yet. I'm gonna give them top 6. All right.
You coaching? You don't think they can finish top 5?
No. Let's slow down there. All right. We're not gonna give them top 3 just because of the hype. I'm not gonna give them top 3 because of hype. All right. I need to see it before I believe it. So I think top 6 is very appropriate for what the Pelicans are.
I'm going top 3. That's just my opinion.
CJ McCollum is going to have some icy nights, VJ. He's on and off. You know that very well as I do.
Hey, you've
been Aikman's been good, and you know what? We don't even know what Zion is. We just don't know yet. Zion may be coming back, but
hey, Zion was dropping 28 and 10 as an overweight man.
Hey, slow down though. Slow down. We cannot be going off a hype like this already. All right. And who's their coach right now, by the way?
They went to the playoffs last year and they beat who did they beat? The Phoenix Suns to 7 games, and Brandon Ingram was about to beat them with a broken hand.
The playoffs?
By himself. With CJ McCollum.
We're not. Oh, you see, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna say Brandon Ingram took them on by themselves. All right, we're not gonna do that when the Pelicans have CJ McCollum. We're not doing that. I'm not taking that, Ace.
Man.
Do better. I said top 5. All right, let me change it. Top 5. All right, top 5.
There we go. We'll make him a believer. Slowly but surely, we'll get him to believe.
I'm not saying the Pelicans are a team to watch, but I'm not going to go say they're a top 3 team in the Western Conference. No, sir. Not with Golden State. Not with Memphis.
On paper, I would think they're top 3. Who's better besides Golden State and Memphis? Who is actually better in the West?
In the West right now,
you don't know what the Clippers are because the Clippers Kawhi Leonard hasn't played basketball in 2 years.
Okay, who knows? Maybe the 2 LA teams might be still ahead of the young Pelicans. Both LA teams, for crying out loud.
2 LA teams. You got some mighty hopes for the LA Lakers. More questions.
The Lakers have been. The Lakers are proving me at the moment that they've been playing much better right now, Mr. Ace. Come on.
Let me ask you a question.
The Lakers have been playing much better this preseason, and I'm buying the hype right now of Devin Harmon.
I don't know why we don't have Baby Groot Thanos as my background right now. MJ Baby Groot Thanos. But let me get into this. This man just said he thinks the LA Lakers will do a better job this year than the Pelicans because you know more about the Lakers than the Pelicans. How many games has Darvin Ham actually coached for the LA Lakers in the regular season and in the playoffs? Let me ask you this question. Let me hear.
Well, hold on a second. All right. I mean, zero. Okay, zero. But what does that got to do with anything? All right. Lakers talent right now, I still believe is still better than the New Orleans Pelicans. Until I see LeBron James completely washed away, I still believe in the Los Angeles Lakers. Rain or shine, because guess what? They're a defensive minded team, and guess what?
AD's ankle blows out again. How long until AD's ankle blows out?
Okay, then guess what? 80, you know what? That's why we have trade bait, all right? We got trade bait and none and such.
He can't hold it. He cannot hold it at the Lakers last year. The Lakers are a bottom 7.
Hey, but guess what? What if Zion gets hurt again? Zion's injury prone. You can call him fat or whatever.
Zion gets hurt. Injury prone. Oh, you still got Brandon Ingram.
Guess what? The Lakers got LeBron James. So what?
Hey, LeBron James. Him and Russ get
Hey, listen, all right? Listen, Russell Westbrook's going to step up this season, all right? Everyone knows that Russell Westbrook is going to step up. LeBron James is going to take a step back. And guess what? They also have Patrick Beverly on defense, so they can hound whoever they want. Patrick Beverly is going to be hounding CJ McCollum to hell. Right?
Hey, you ever heard of Jose Alvarado, man? Herb Jones, Trey Murphy. You ain't heard of none of them dogs. And I haven't even got into Magic stuff yet.
But you're the one that just literally said a few moments ago that Brandon Ingram carried against the Suns. You're the one that said moments ago that he carried the Pelicans.
Yeah. Well, you're saying Russell Westbrook and Patrick Beverly will lock up CJ McCollum. Have you not seen what Jose Alvarado did to Chris Paul in the playoffs on defense?
Chris Paul is a fraud. Do I have to say that again?
Chris Paul
is a no-show in the playoffs. How many times do I have to tell you this? Chris Paul is over-glorified because the NBA media and analysts love him to shit. All right, I don't need to repeat myself over this. All right. So right now you're going too high on the Pelicans. You need to slow down a bit on that Pelicans hype for a little bit. All right. Until I see it happen, I'm not buying it.
All right, whatever. Well, the Grizzlies will still be better than Boston.
Please stop crying, Dad. All right, I didn't make my point across to this little man over here. Please.
Oh Lord. All right, Mr. Flash is all worked up and heard about the Lakers with a first-year head coach and a glass man known as Anthony Davis. We shall see what happened with the Lakers. He was so hyped up about the Lakers last year, and what did the Lakers do? Where did the Lakers finish? I'm sorry. What was the Lakers doing in May?
I don't know. You talked to all right, Frank Vogel. You know Frank Vogel was a shit coach. He's Frank Vogel. Well. Everyone knows the blame was on Frank Vogel. All right.
So how long until LeBron gets served time in 3 years?
I think LeBron James is going to take a step back this season. He's going to let Russell Westbrook do his thing for once. Let Russell Westbrook be.
Westbrook's going to carry at 34.
What's that squeaky noise?
No, I'm saying, so you think Russell Westbrook will carry it?
I'm not saying carrying, but I think Russell Westbrook is going to pick up the load rather than having him stand out on the side on the 3-point line, as Mr. Frank Vogel thought it was a great idea. I think the rock should be in Russell Westbrook's hands a little bit more, and keep it in his hands, because rain or shine, Russell Westbrook needs to have a momentum going. You know that. I know that. When Russell Westbrook has his momentum going, he is a very lethal player, and I still believe in that. So guess what? That's what I mean. Russell Westbrook is going to pick up the slack. AD is going to be the finisher at the rim. LeBron James, is going to probably be like the second option in terms of like how Russ and Paul George was going off or Russ and KD. They got to be treated more as an equal rather than LeBron James carrying the whole damn team again. And everyone's been saying that around the NBA world. You can laugh at me all you want, but there's people out there who are agreeing with me in that regard.
So all three of them healthy. Russell Westbrook is going to be the number one option. Is that what you just said?
No, I'm saying Russell Westbrook should be handling the ball more often than LeBron James. That's what I'm saying.
As the playmaker.
Yes.
Okay, you need to clarify that because that could be construed as you say Westbrook should be the number one scoring option and not LeBron.
No, I don't think it should be the number one scoring option. No, not when they got shooters and stuff in, especially Austin Reeves.
All right, cool. Let's hurry this up now. We got Draymond decking Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole looks like he just saw some baddies on the side of the court now when he's playing basketball consistently. Dropped 25 in his first game back from getting absolutely sleeped out by Draymond, who thought he was fighting Jake Paul instead of playing basketball with Jordan Poole, I guess. I don't know.
I really do not know what happened. I mean, apparently it was just some trash talking stuff. But Draymond's apparently it was bad enough that Draymond's mama had to defend him on Twitter. Yeah, Draymond might need his mama to kiss him goodnight because guess what? His mama might need his mama a little bit more this season because it might be a little bit bumpy.
All right, let's have some hot topics in the NFL refereeing before we wrap this up for tonight. We've had enough fireworks. Let's be nice and civilized for to talk about roughing the passer. So, as we know, Atlanta Falcons, surprisingly, third quarter actually also, were actually not blowing a lead, but were actually causing a lead to be blown. This is actually not the first time they've done that, but they were very close. Thoroughly outplayed the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the second half of that game. JP should know he was there. And he will say, sometimes you need that lucky break. Nah, for that play, boy. Ooh, you do not call roughing the passer in that situation on a simple sack like that. Especially when Patrick Mahomes gets sacked less than 24 hours later the exact same way and you don't call it. And the entire world knows, beside that one referee, that is not roughing the passer on a simple sack like that, where you did not toss him to the ground. He just simply turned and had to do a simple tackle, where, people have been tackling like that since you were playing tackle high school football without pads on. So, NFL got a refereeing issue, never going to fix it.
Let's bring up the Chiefs as well, the Chiefs-Raiders game. That game is also poorly officiated to the extent of that bad call that we saw Saturday.
Jones taking the ball.
And matter of fact, that call was so bad, even to the point that Stank Bastard said it was a bad call. If Stank Bastard said it was a bad call, it is bad. It is that bad. Buccaneers fans are still defending it whatsoever, but I don't know, Joe Bucks fan or whatever his name is, still saying, oh yeah, there was that a bad call, so that makes a call like that, a game-shifting call? No, that's not the same. It's not the same at all, whatsoever.
All right, baby Steven, that's going to do it for us for tonight.
Stink Bastard over Joe Bucks fan, by the way. All right, we need to get Stink Bastard back.
All right. With that being said, guys, that is going to do it for us for episode 7 of the Last Game podcast.
Stank, come back, Stank.
73 minutes tonight. Wow. Okay, we went way over tonight, but I'm waiting for the closing background. I don't know.
I am done. My voice is getting so.
Mine too. Nobody wanted to hear that, dude. Really?
Stop! I got a hairball.
All right, kitty cat. You acting like a kid in any way with your little fighting over there.
Oh, let's see how the big cat's doing.
Big cat's on that second in remission. All right, so thanks for joining us for tonight for the Last Gift podcast.
So what is Ace of Swag is about? What's that about?
So it is a Deion Sanders thing where he said, we slack. It's a type of mindset essentially on how you behave. I will play it.
Speaking of Deion Sanders.
Sway. It ain't sway. Who is sway? If I ain't sway.
This is
Sway. Baby. Sway.
it's essentially you remember Stephen A's someone made a compilation video, music video of how about them cowards go wrong, will go wrong. Same thing.
Man, I feel sorry for Stephen A. with have to deal with Michael Irvin every Monday now because he's been unbearable lately on First Take. I'll say that right now.
So, with that being said, guys, yeah, thank you for tonight. Allison will be joining us tomorrow night at 8. You know, FAMU got a new AD hire, I believe. Talk about FAMU. We didn't talk about it tonight, but we'll talk about it tomorrow. Don't get me wrong. FAMU winning another game. South Carolina State topping them again, third time in a row. FAMU keeping it up. Really looking like they might actually turn tables. Isaiah Land won Defensive Player of the Week. You know, all-around great performance from FAMU. Talk about all in-depth tomorrow. Tonight was more professional sports. Tomorrow we'll get into deep down to the HBCU, especially Dion versus Eddie Robinson Jr. Or Eddie and Robinson, not Eddie Robinson Jr. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Yeah, we'll talk about that whole fiasco. Southern versus Prairie View. That whole fight. Talk about that tomorrow. So don't go anywhere for tomorrow. Come back for that. But yeah, be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe. Flash, you got anything to say to these good people before we go out tonight?
For those who are still suffering from Hurricane Ian down in the real Ian that gave Florida hell, prayers up to y'all, especially for those in Fort Myers. You know, keep those folks in your prayers if you believe in God. If you don't believe in God, you know, hope for the best for them. That's all I can say. So, you know, prayers up for those folks. And as I say, you know, like, share, subscribe, be a friend, tell a friend. That's all I got to say at the moment. NBA's coming back. It's going to be a lot of fun to talk about. I can't wait.
Going over every
you see that
tomorrow for everything.
You see that you see that Morant jersey a little hanged up right there. It's
a Morant jersey hanged up
on my door.
All right, but anyway, guys.
Next week.
Stay safe, stay blessed. See you tomorrow from me.